everybody, Jack Barnwell here in beautiful Leland, Michigan, and we are at this absolutely gorgeous home site here of my good friend Leslie, and she is going to walk and talk and tour us through her unbelievable gardens that there's kind of a fun backstory that we'll tell you on how we met and everything like that. And Julia and I stopped by to see Leslie and see one little garden she wanted to show us, and we were blown away because not just one little garden is amazing, all of her gardens are amazing. So we're going to tour you guys through and show you these incredible gardens and this beautiful, beautiful home. It's going to be a real treat, so let's dive in. Okay, so here we are in the very front entry gardens, or the front entry of this absolutely beautiful, beautiful home with Leslie, and she's going to walk and talk and tour us through some things that are going on. We've got bees galore going nuts on these alliums right now. I love that color. And that's following the lavender, which basically was the same jam, right? So you have like bees all the time out here.
Yes, welcome to our Craftsman Cottage.
It's
So
lovely.
I grew up on a farm in Kentucky and I love old homes, and I couldn't find one, so I built a new house to look like an old house, and actually passersby usually think that I've renovated an old farmhouse.
I just said that. I just said the same thing when we were getting ready to film. I said, okay, so what was it like? Tell the story about what it was like when you bought it, because obviously you had to totally redo it. And no, it's not yet. So it's brand new, but it looks old and feels that way. Just the layout, and even the gardens feel like mature.
Yeah.
But they're not.
So the design brief for the property was because Craftsman and Mission is by design very linear, and everything's very synchronized and organized. I really wanted all the outdoor space to be really organic.
Mm-hmm. A lot more flowy.
Organic feel. And
Yeah.
then you'll see when we go in the back, we have, in addition to the 44-foot wide front porch living space where we get to look out on the garden, we have a big patio on the back, which is an outdoor living space. So it was really important also for the pathways to link all the spaces.
And so with the design right out front, we do have this front pathway that typically people would have a little bit more, hardscape or solidscape front pathway. And this is literally just stepping stones through the garden, which is really unique in the design right off the bat, right off the front here. And these two big, huge beds are pretty similar. I mean, there's a lot of symmetry going on between these two beds. What are the elements that are different in them? I mean, I can see some elements that are different in them. Do you feel like it bothers you? Do you need to bring some of that butterfly weed over here or some of the crocosmia over here? Do you love do you love it?
I'm in year 3, so that's the leap stage. So I definitely like to collage things. So I am thinking about moving some of the crocosmia, which is currently not blooming, but hummingbirds love over there. So I might put some of that here. And then you recently were talking about that other variety that looks like a crocosmia, but it's not yellow.
Yes.
So that might be kind of fun. I don't do any pink, so everything is reds, yellows, oranges, because my color scheme with the house inside and out is kind of natural greens and with spots of orange and copper. I do have some obviously purple with the allium, and the lavender is just awesome because we get a lot of great breezes up here in northern Michigan, so sometimes it'll just be blowing back and forth, and of course smelling great and making the bees happy.
I know, it's awesome.
And then there's the stone columns, which match the columns on the house, which were done by a local stonemason who didn't believe that I could collect the rocks for the columns. So they ordered some, but about half of them I did collect.
They look
from local public beaches.
And you're
I didn't break any rules.
totally allowed to do that, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want anything on top of them. People always want me to put a light fixture in them. No.
No, they're
I
nice
think
and clean.
Stand on their
The mineral element in and of themselves is lovely.
And then in the front, I love to do planters, and I like to be kind of efficient and productive. So I usually do some perennial ferns, and then I can in the fall plant them and add to a fern garden I have going over.
And I love
the
that
side of the house.
the hanging baskets are just ferns. The pots are really simple and stately and just, ferns and green. Because the front door and the furniture, you've got all this color and all this really fun, cosmic stuff going on that you don't need to have a lot of wild color. Just a little bit of color, splash here and there is plenty with the pots. They're just awesome.
Thank you.
And I love that the front beds are so low. A lot of people would want to put a big bank of hydrangeas or something here, to get that big color and foundation planting along the front. But you've got this beautiful railing and you want to kind of be able to sit and actually see out and keep this planting low. And that's a tough discipline, I think, for people.
Yeah,
like
the other
to,
thing that
keep it low.
I found successful over time, both inside and out, because our house actually is really it's not a McMansion, it's 2,000 square feet. So when you have a smaller space, I find that if you do a monochromatic color scheme, even if you mix different things with that same color and it's not too busy, it helps make the space look, not that I'm trying to make it look bigger, but I think
it feels
it's
like a little airier, a little bigger.
Yeah.
So big blocks of plants is really very successful as opposed to like a scattering of one or two of everything.
Exactly.
So like a big bank here of this lady's mantle is stunning, and a super, super tough plant. In bloom is beautiful. You can cut, if you want to, you can cut off all these spent blooms and you got great foliage for the rest of the season. What color is the astilbe?
It is, in keeping with my kind of trim color, it's a beautiful creamy ivory.
Creamy ivory, okay. So the Brunera you've got like flanking the front steps is the first spring flower with a beautiful blue like mist of haze there in the Brunera. And then you've got a bank flanking that of the astilbe in white, which is really pretty. And I love the spent blooms. I think they look cool. But again, you could trim those back, trim back the lady's mantle, if you wanted to, and the foliage just holds. And even, I think astilbe is one of those studs that is so good in the garden because the foliage holds so well all the way till the fall, and you get good fall color out of it. It's not one of those perennials that just, kind of crumples up and dies like a poppy or something. It really holds, so it's... And
I use it in flower arrangements too, even when it gets to this
astilbe
stage, because
awesome.
it's a great accent piece.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys know I collect a lot of things inside my house, art, pottery, and vases, but I actually use them. And I have tons of house plants. We've got lots of light, and I do a lot of house plants out front as well. But I also do a lot of bouquets for myself and friends. So I'm all about using what you grow as well.
Yeah. So now we're going to transition from the front entry and the front of this darling home to the side, and most specifically the garden that Leslie got us all excited about about a year ago. So we'll transition now into this side bed here.
So this is my crevice garden,
or your take on a crevice garden.
My take on a crevice garden, which I actually just started exactly a year ago. So late August, and then going into the fall, where I was going to a lot of nurseries and trying to get a lot of sedum.
It must have been.
That was on sale.
It must have been two years ago. It must have been, because when I first met you was in the spring at the Bayshore Run 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, and you said, you got to come see my crevice garden. I'm so excited about everything. So it must have been 2 years ago.
Maybe it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I lose track of time.
So my crevice garden, which, aka another name for rock garden, has some rocks left from the columns. It's a little bit of a treasure hunter garden. So as I mentioned, I grew up on a farm, so I always gravitate to pieces of metal and agricultural implements. And some of these I've dragged around from different houses in Chicago. I got a good old Chicago Park District water valve here, which is actually one of my prized possessions.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It is cool.
It is, yeah.
Because, things like this just tell a story. And we were in a garden yesterday. It was actually the house that Julia grew up in, so her mom's house, her mom and dad's house, and we toured all through the gardens and stuff. And what I love about the gardens is, I mean, obviously I love plants, right? And we love all the little plants and stuff, that's great. But it's the stories that makes a garden so much more magical and meaningful. And I think the plants do better when they're within a story. If you didn't have any of these stories in this bed, right? And you had nothing in this bed but plants, only plants, I don't think the plants would do as well, nor look as good. Do you agree?
They're very happy.
Right? They
and
are, because they're a part of something.
You guys know I'm a collector, so now I've decided I'm going to keep collecting varieties of sedum. My new favorite is these adorable little teeny tiny ones in the back.
Like, people call those mouse ears,
Yeah.
these little guys.
No, this one here. This one.
Oh, that's even more adorable.
So cute.
Little, like, tiny little mossy sedums.
I
And
do
these spread like crazy,
Yeah,
too.
I do have a few herbs in here. I've got obviously some sage and some German thyme, both plain and variegated. Although I do have an herb garden, vegetable garden over on the other side.
Yeah, the thyme
I
is
like
going
these
to do
'cause they
great.
spread.
Yeah, I love the variegated one, too.
That's my favorite
that's-
because it's got the yellow in it.
Yeah,
That's my favorite.
yeah, those are
Yeah.
really, really strong.
Yeah.
That's awesome. This is such a good garden. And this is what, so as I was saying, Leslie met Julia and I at a run, the Bay Shore, actually. It's a half marathon 10K, 5K. And I was running my very first 10K that year. It was not this year, but the year before.
Right, right.
And Leslie came up to us, and Julia and I were like warming up and getting ready to run. And Julia is this incredible runner, so she was just, you know, basically like dragging me along. And I'm all nervous and everything because I am not a runner, but I do run from time to time.
You're
And-
pretty fast.
Well,
I saw your
that's
time at Port
because
Oneida.
that's just because Julia is usually chasing me. Like, what? But anyway, so Leslie came up and she's like, "Are you Jack Barnwell?" And I was like, "I guess so, yes." Anyway, so we got to talking and stuff, and she's like, "Oh my God, you guys got to come and see my garden." And this was the only garden that you were talking about at the time. You were so excited about
Yeah.
this unique garden. And then we came here like a month ago or something,
Yeah.
right? We stopped by because we have some jobs in the area and stuff. We stopped by and we saw this garden, but so many things going on in this garden and space were so awesome. We were like, we've got to come back and do a video because it's so amazing. And so right behind us here, you guys may have been hearing in the back of the video, but behind us here is a little municipal park, right?
Yep.
And they have tennis and, of course, everybody's favorite, pickleball.
Yeah. So we
Pickleball.
embraced it. I built a little path over
A little
there.
path to
My
go over
husband's
there.
A
And
big header. Yeah, it's been fun getting to know you guys through running. I have more collection things out here, so collectors always have a story about everything.
yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
stories about all this stuff is,
This is from a historic theater in Marquette, the end of seating bank.
oh yeah. It seems so small,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it was at the end of the row of movie seats. Got a good old bottle tree, but using insulators. This is a recent acquisition. These were school desks, but I kind of propped it up at the same place. I found an old, this is the frame for an old manual,
Real mower.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
yeah.
And it looks cool. I mean, it almost looks like it all is one piece, you
Yeah.
know, even though they're a combo of the two. Love it.
And then when I moved, unfortunately, a lot of my art pottery got broken, which I make stepping stones out of, but these kind of got broken in half, so these are going to be yellow loose stripes, so they'll get up about this tall.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of was like, well, they need a vase, so
Then
repurposed
they are.
vases.
For now. They're
A little bit of a
awesome.
dumpster diver, got a fern and a chair.
And that's funny because Julia's mom has chairs throughout her garden as well. It's kind of her thing. She likes to find free chairs like that, like
Yeah.
old antique wooden chairs, throw them in the garden, plant them up or whatever, and then when they rot away, just get another chair.
Exactly.
It's like
There's
a thing.
more where they came
It's a
from.
thing, yeah. So this little space here, this is probably my favorite little element of the garden. It looks kind of like a little storage shed or something, but it is so much more. This is a really, really cool space right here. I love all the hardware too, by the way. Like this stuff. Where did you find all this again? different
A
places.
couple places that do reproduction hardware, which I have a lot in the house.
Yeah, this stuff is just unbelievably beautiful. But
And this is a piece from my dad, who was a farmer, but he actually got me started on collecting old cast iron grates and vents. So, and then I was telling Jack, we were talking about watering, hanging plants. So I always do all my own baskets.
and these are sweet. These frames are beautiful
Yeah,
too.
I repainted that one this year. Those are some old grates that I got at a resalvage place in Evanston where I used to live. My dad got me started that. He gave me that as well. My lightning rod.
That's awesome. That's really,
That
really
one was from
impressive
him.
too.
Yeah.
Was this part of it too? This like
Yep.
glass?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the original design plan, actually from the architect on the house, we were going to have 3 across the top. But, and I'm well aware because I grew up on a farm that you have to ground a lightning rod. So having, even with today's technology, like the wire, the grounding wire was still very thick and it would have had to run across the roof line and down the side of the house. So we actually mixed
it.
that.
Yeah.
So you cannot just throw them up there. So.
No, not without being grounded.
Sorry. Outdoor shower. This is our outdoor shower that we like to call, this is my installation called Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Yeah.
And also a bit of a rock hound. So these are Petoskey stones. And so they're
Every one of them is?
almost every one of them is 350 million years old. So folks who collect them know you can find them better when they're wet.
Mm-hmm.
So people usually describe the shower experience. You look up here, it really is
Yeah.
pretty sublime.
It's super
Yeah.
beautiful.
And it's different than a lot of other outdoor showers that folks kind of throw up, I think, as a afterthought in their house. So sometimes they're not even private, and if they're private, they're very small. So we purposely did this one really large.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, you
my
can have a
love-
2-person party in here.
Yeah, my lovely builder. So this this was some leftover truck stack pieces from the back entrance, and this was leftover shingles from the house.
Sure.
And
So
then they built this
pretty easy to-
incredibly
yeah.
thick door.
Yeah,
And
it is beefy.
It's a beautiful thing, and you can come back from running the beach and
Have a little rinse in the garden,
Yeah.
or from pickleball.
exactly.
You know, right next to the pickleball court. Super, super nice. So now we're gonna jump into the back patio space behind the house here, which is really, really darling and charming, and show you guys some of Julia's favorite features of the whole entire property.
Okay. Yeah, and our installation partner, Traverse Outdoor, did such a fantastic job, not just with the planting. Again, we're in year 3, and we really have lost, I think, 1 plant. So I also
Awesome.
work out here a lot every day, but they also did this beautiful stonework, and I learned that this part of the pattern, you know, again, random collage patterns, they call this the lungs. This is a lung
lungs.
section.
Okay.
Which I learned that.
I
And
have
they're-
never heard that before, but I
Yes.
love that. That's
and they
the
were
lungs.
they were really great, and we got to know the guys. They were real, you know, functional experts, but also artists. And they would actually bring me for big pieces of stone, like at the front and the back, and even right where you're standing, Julia. They'd be like, "Okay, this is a big focal point. Do you want this rock, or this rock?"
That's a big
They
deal.
let me
yeah,
pick out
because
because they knew
you know,
that
it's forever. Sure.
they knew that I cared, you know,
Right.
and they did
Right.
such a great job.
Yeah. Well, kudos to those guys. We're working with Traverse Outdoor on a few other projects right now, and we're pretty excited about it as well.
We got more vents over here, more lightning rods.
A very nice lightning rod collection here.
We have
These are cool. Did you paint these or no?
No, those are glass.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
A couple of those 2 balls are new since you guys were here. Got those at a estate sale. So unlike the rest of the house, our studio fish is back here. It's 600 square feet studio for art, music, and guest. And so it's all blue and green inside and out to keep with our beautiful freshwater up here in the Great Lakes of northern Michigan and Leland Peninsula.
It's stunning too. The door is like absolutely amazing and perfect, and the screen, even every
You noticed.
attention to every detail. Absolutely, the
So,
gold.
Copper and brass.
Yeah, so nice.
And then we really enjoy our little intimate patio. It's kind of Goldilocks. It's just the right size, not too big, not too small. And
You know, one thing I notice that people often do is make their patio too small. That's like, because when you don't have any furniture on the patio, it seems huge, right? And so oftentimes when I'm laying out a patio, people say, whoa, that's way too big, right? And I'm like, okay, well, you know, how many people do you want to have for dinner? Well, we need at least 6. Okay. And then you start laying out the table and the chairs, and okay, we need this seating area over here. And then all of a sudden it shrinks right down, right? But I agree, you have the perfect size patio space for like these little seating areas, not too big, not too small, but without the furniture out here, it would feel huge.
Yeah,
Perfect.
and different folks suggested that we do the patio on the side, which you can do, which is great. But we had lived in an urban area where patios were by necessity really small and intimate, so I really felt confident that this would come out right. We do lights. Kind of my outdoor furniture is the same as inside. I didn't buy anything. This is stuff I had before. I try to take really good care of it and wrap it up every winter, repaint it. And
it looks great, yeah. Love the chairlift, too.
I do a lot of collage art, so I got from all my broken pottery, lots of stepping stones. I just did a new batch.
You made all these?
Yeah, I made all those.
Did you break all the pots?
Well, sometimes I would, but after this move, the movers broke. Thousands of dollars worth of pots, so I got a lot of new ones. And then I have a collage fence back here, and this is kind of the centerpiece of the patio, is the
chairlift.
Sugarloaf chairlift swing. My husband grew up skiing at Sugarloaf, kind of like a lot of local ski areas around the country. Long defunct, but really means a lot to him. He came up here when he was 8 years old. We have the certificate we found of his first
ski pass or his first ski lesson?
Ski lesson.
Oh my gosh.
8 years old.
That's great.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, local artisan I found who designed a really safe way to hang these chairs, because obviously if it fell on you, it would kill you, and it actually works. It swings. And again, with the scale of our patio, if we have folks over, you can be having a glass of wine and sitting in the chair, but you're still in the party.
Yeah,
it's not so.
It's perfect.
We wanted, again, my philosophy with everything is I like stuff that's beautiful to look at, as Gwen Frostick would say, but I like it to be, I like to use it.
Yeah,
and so
absolutely.
It's very
functional.
Yeah.
For sure. I like the gazing ball back in the garden back there. Those are fun.
Yeah.
That's a good one too.
This one usually is a pop quiz to see if folks know what these
are. Okay, pop quiz. In the comments, who can answer what this is right here? You can't watch any more of the video because we're going to tell you all in a minute. So, go. Okay, now we're going to tell you what they are.
Yeah.
This is the hint. Looks like a flower. And then...
gas burner.
Right? Old gas burner.
Yeah.
What do they say on them? Oh, it's just numbers and stuff. Yeah, these are super, super cool. How many people get that right, though?
Not very many.
Right? Like 10%, maybe?
That's an awesome giant piece of metal. I found it like Michigan and Chicago, and then ran about 3 miles back home with it. I think people thought I was a crazy woman, that I was going to hit someone with it.
It just, hey, how you doing? No big deal. It's just my belt. Yeah. Oh, it's cool though. Yeah. And to think of the power of Lake Michigan, right? To be able to twist that and beat that up like that.
Exactly.
Because that is thick steel. It's like solid 1/4 inch thick steel. It's amazing.
These are my limelights that are taller than me.
And they're still throwing out blooms like way up there too.
Yeah. I just made a bouquet this morning, and that's literally only like 3 blooms. They're so giant.
Yeah.
So this is something that might get moved somewhere else, but I do love the color.
All right, so as we are departing the back patio and heading out toward the other side yard here, The patio steps down and changes grade here, and the lighting is really, really exceptional. I love these beautiful, beautiful lights. And more Leslie garden treasures that she has found in her hunting. There's only a handful of those lights. They're not the same throughout the whole landscape, which is totally fine. They just light this little area, and then the lighting changes in other locations. But and this is super fun. This is like a little Petoskey stone tree, which is really cool. But this guy,
Happy Dinosaur.
Happy
Petoskey.
Dinosaur Petoskey stone.
As found.
As found, yeah. This is not custom dinosaured out at all. Look at that guy. Really nice. Love all your Japanese ferns.
This is another one for my dad. And I just feel like
That'd be an end of a fence.
Yep.
Yeah. An
Or in the
end
corner.
post.
Yeah, because you can see the brackets.
Mm-hmm. That's impressive. It looks heavy.
It does.
Oh
And
yeah.
it doesn't blow over.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's sweet. Okay, so more
We've got
beautiful
more stuff up there,
coneflowers.
too. Yeah.
A lot of repetition through the garden too, you know, with these nice drifts of alliums. They still be, you know, super, super stunning. The hydrangeas, you know, bouncing throughout the garden, picking up that repetition. A lot of nice anchor points with the birch and this, you know, great Japanese maple over here. Like design-wise, it just, the landscape makes so much sense. It's, what color is that Ito peony?
It is primarily like the white with the
Oh, okay.
burgundy.
Yeah.
Had peonies for my wedding flowers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Got
There's some
more.
really cool new ones coming out in that Itos that are amazing.
And we have a river birch again. There is symmetry. River birch anchors each side of the house.
Yep, saw that.
Got more lightning rod balls over here.
And this Deutzia here is looking very, very healthy. It's a great plant as well. Love it. Is that the cherry blossom? Is it the redder, kind of deep pink, or is it white?
White.
Chardonnay pearls, probably. I don't know why I know these things. So,
And then when we cleared this lot, there were a lot of just, you know, junk, garbage, trees. This lot had never been built on, and it was all sand. But obviously, we did save these oaks over here on the side, and this little
this
kind
whole
of
clump
forested
here.
area, which I've been talking to you guys about. I can't keep my hands off. I want to do something a little more special here, but not sure what yet.
Well, let's scheme and dream it up. Or this is always fun. We're gonna throw it out to you guys watching. This whole space, this
Ooh,
island bed right here, all of you need to, like a 2 or 3 sentence, you know, quick comment description of what you would do. You've now seen a lot of Leslie's gardens here. What do you think would be fun for this space and place within the landscape? And whoever comes up with the best idea, we may just do it and you'll win a very, very special prize. Right?
That'd be awesome.
That'd be good. Like
Leave
a
the
free
trees, but
trip to
anything
Leland,
else?
Michigan, and 2 weeks at Leslie's house. Oh, no. Okay, maybe not. But yeah, leave the trees, but then give us some ideas for everything underneath. That'd be fun. I've gotten some great ideas by doing that before.
Yeah.
Like
Little
really, really good
crowdsourcing
ideas.
thing.
Yeah. So this is the veggie garden.
Yeah,
Right?
It says veggies and herbs and
Fun. Oh, you have a chicken that lays golf balls.
yes.
I see. Very
Those
prolific.
were a Mother's Day gift, those chickens, and I'm working on doing a collage walkway. So starting here with this fish skeleton, if you can see in the top,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm starting on some blueberry bushes, which I know take quite a while.
They
And
do.
Those are new.
So you want to
I-
have like a clump of blueberries in the center?
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
3
yep, yep,
bushes,
yep.
and I got some. Those are brand new tractor gears.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then those are some new stepping stones I just made down there that are the yellow brick road.
I see. The yellow brick.
I
Follow
did
the
a
yellow
little
brick
bit
road.
different shape.
I love the coil of chain too as like a stepping stone.
Yep.
That's super cool.
And I just got some more
That's such a good idea.
at the same estate sale where I got the tractor gears. So sometimes I have in mind what I can do with something, but the majority of the time I don't. I just get it because I like old pieces
And
of
so
metal,
those
and then I
old
figure
tractor
what
gears,
to
did you
do.
Did you buy those old tractor gears, or did somebody just give them to you?
I bought them.
You paid
And I
like
didn't-
real money for this?
Yes. And I didn't know what they were. And
But you still
World
said,
War
I'm
II
buying them. I don't know what they are, but I'm buying them.
my World War II veteran dad is no longer with us because that was totally one of those moments where I'm like, oh my God, I could totally call him and he would know, but he would also say,
Don't
I can't
buy 'em.
believe you don't know what those
Oh,
are.
yeah, right.
And he would say the same thing, you paid money for those?
Yeah, I could have got you 100 of those back at the farm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Wow.
And I got some little
Hey,
photos.
your windsock is really great. It's always windy here.
It is a smelt net.
It's great.
Yeah. And then I got some little collage things going over here. And this was a minor design challenge. This dirt road here is actually a street in Leland, and there are 2 neighbors behind us. But this corner where at this point in time we can't bury the utility lines was just really not pretty.
It's okay. It's a work in progress.
So
You're
the
getting some
challenge
stuff
here
going.
too was like at least make it an entryway, just to anybody that comes up the hill. You know. So we did. They're at the end of their life cycle or season cycle right now, but we did these fun yellow shaggy Shasta daisies. You can tell us the variety. I call them shaggy Shasta daisies.
Those are like the banana cream
Yes.
twos.
That sounds good. Banana cream.
Banana cream twos, or whatever. the shaggier ones, they're like ripply, kind of like a ripped looking little petal to them.
Yes.
And they're
yes,
creamy yellow.
That's exactly what they look like.
Yes, ripply ripped. Anyway, this has been like the best little tour about here through Leslie's Gardens, and really, really beautiful place for us to visit. It's been an honor for us to be able to stop by and hang out and spend some time with you. Thank you
Thanks for
so
coming.
much. And I hope you guys all had such a good time touring through Leslie's Gardens with us. We'll have lots more videos coming your way, so stay tuned, and we'll see y'all again in the next video. Bye.